That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls upon the believers and He says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Grab tight onto the rope of Allah and do not split apart. And the word wa'tasimu, my brothers and sisters in Islam, is not an easy word in Arabic. The word wa'tasimu means unite. And the word wa'tasimu means grab tight. And the word wa'tasimu means sacrifice for one another. And the word wa'tasimu means be firm. So the word wa'tasimu contains a lot of meanings. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, wa'tasimu, grab tight and be united and be strong and be steadfast and be firm together. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا, together onto the rope of Allah. And what is the rope of Allah? It is Islam. What is the rope of Allah? It's La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. What is the rope of Allah? It is the Quran, that we live our life revolving around it. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. And do not split apart. Do not divide. For the Muslims to be united, better than be divided. For the Muslims to be together, better than being isolated from one another. And then Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. And remember the bounty of Allah, the ni'mah of Allah, the gift of Allah upon you when you were enemies. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the believers, especially the people of Yathrib, the people of Medina, the Aus and the Khazraj, in which they were fighting against each other for over 1 century. For over 100 years they were fighting against one another. So Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. And remember the bounty of Allah and the ni'mah of Allah upon you. When you were enemies that used to fight one another. You were enemies that used to destroy one another. You were enemies that used to hate one another. You were enemies that used to look down at each other. You were enemies that used to disrespect one another. فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. Then, by the bounty of Allah, which is Islam, you became brothers. Then, by the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and through the guidance of Islam, you became brothers. After you were enemies, now you are brothers. After you used to fight one another, now you fight for each other. After you used to look down at each other, now you respect one another. After you used to hate one another, now you love one another. So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in the hearts of the Sahaba radiyallahu ta'ala anhum. Although they were strangers to one another, complete strangers to each other, never met each other before, but then Allah Azza wa Jalla brought their hearts together. And all this through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in which the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam established al-ukhuwah, the brotherhood amongst the believers. He established the brotherhood amongst the believers.